Raising chickens might seem like a big commitment, but the truth is it's one of the simplest, most rewarding ways to become a little more self-sufficient. In this video, I'm going to walk you through everything we've done to raise our baby chicks from just 3 days old. I'm going to show you how we brought them home, how we set them up in their brooder, the items we bought, what they eat, how we keep things clean, and when it's time to transition them into a chicken coop. This process is a lot easier than you might think, and if you've ever been on the fence about getting chickens, you should go for it. It's not only doable, but it's fun, affordable, and if you have kids, they're going to love it. And they're surprisingly low maintenance. So let's go ahead and jump in. If you're new to this channel, my name is Chris, and on this channel we discuss emergency preparedness, aka prepping. My mission is to help people prepare in practical ways, especially right in their own backyard. And we've got a course that we're going to be launching soon that walks you through how you can build a self-sufficient setup right where you live, especially if you're in a suburban neighborhood. If you want to jumpstart, click the link below to grab our free survival guide. That will also add you to our weekly preparedness email list, and you'll be the first to know when the course goes live. All right, let's dive into what it takes to raise baby chicks the easy way. I've broken this down into 10 clear steps so you can follow along and feel confident the entire time. Spoiler alert, it's honestly not that hard. I've raised several groups of chickens over the years, and I'll share the steps I've found to make it easy. So here we go. Bringing the chicks home. We got our chicks at the local feed store when they were just 3 days old. My daughter picked out the ones that she wanted, one of the highlights of the whole experience. You can also order chicks online from hatcheries, but going in person lets you choose the breeds and see how healthy they are. Most chicks sold in stores are already sexed, meaning they're supposed to be all female. There's usually a small chance, maybe 10%, you're going to end up with a rooster. Fortunately, I've never had this happen, and here's something a lot of people ask. Do you need a rooster to get eggs? No. Hens lay eggs whether there's a rooster around or not. Now that being said, before you get chicks, check your local ordinances. Most cities are going to allow hens but not roosters. And there might be a limit on how many chickens you can have. For a lot of people, 5 or 6 hens is normally legal, and honestly 5 or 6 hens is plenty for daily eggs. Once they start producing, they will average about 1 egg per chicken on a daily basis. Number 2, choosing the right breed. Chickens come in all kinds of breeds with different temperaments, egg colors, and cold or heat tolerance. Some breeds are more social and gentle, great for kids. Others are more active or independent. Buff Orpingtons, Barred Rocks, Rhode Island Reds, and Easter Eggers are all excellent for beginners. We picked a mix of breeds so we could get a fun variety of color eggs and personalities. It's one of the things that makes raising chickens more personal. No two are quite alike. And don't worry, if you go to your local feed store, they'll give you options usually based on your geographical location. Number 3, your first setup, the brooder. When you bring your chicks home, you're going to need a brooder. That's just a warm, safe place for them to live for the first 6 to 8 weeks. We used a 2 by 2 by 6 foot galvanized horse trough, but don't feel like you need something fancy. You can use a large plastic tote, a big cardboard box, a kiddie pool with tall sides, whatever keeps them safe and contained. For our first group of chickens years ago, we just got a large cardboard box they had laying around behind the store. The key is that the brooder should be draft-free, have at least 1.5 to 2 square feet per chick, be tall enough so they can't jump out as they grow, and you want to line the bottoms with pine shavings, not cedar, and cedar can be toxic. And don't use newspaper either, it's too slippery and it can cause leg issues. I clean out the bedding once a week, and that was more than enough to keep things clean and odor-free. One thing I want to emphasize here. This is not hard to keep clean. Chickens are surprisingly low maintenance if you just stay on top of the basics. The smell people often associate with chickens, that comes from not changing the bedding. Weekly cleaning is simple and it takes just a few minutes. Number 4, providing heat. Baby chicks need warmth. We used a basic heat lamp which works just fine. You want to set it up so the temperature directly under the light is about 95 degrees Fahrenheit during their first week. Then reduce that by about 5 degrees Fahrenheit each week by raising the lamp or using a dimmer until they're 6 weeks old. But honestly, you don't need to obsess over thermometers, and I've only used one time with my first batch of chickens years ago, and I find that they kind of regulate their own body heat by getting either closer or further away from the lamp on their own. You just want to watch the chicks. If they're huddled under the lamp, they're too cold. If they're all far away from the lamp on the edges, they're too hot, and if they're milling around comfortably, you're right where they need to be. This kind of daily observation takes about a couple of minutes and becomes part of your routine. Number 5, food and water, what to use. Chicks eat what's called starter feed, and it's specially formulated with the protein they need to grow. Again, when picking them up, just ask the employee at the store and they'll show you the various options based on age. You're also going to need a small chick feeder. Gravity style works great. a chick water, preferably raised slightly off the bedding, and fresh water daily is a must. I keep it simple and I just refill it every morning. You also find as they get older, they'll kick sawdust into the water and chick feeders, so elevating them with a brick or something else helps a bit, but you still will want to check on their food and water on a daily basis, especially once they get a little older than 4 weeks. Now, this is not complicated, and it quickly just becomes a 2-minute daily habit. Number 6, daily handling. One of my favorite parts of this whole process was the time we spent handling the chicks. Every day for the first 5 weeks, my daughter and I took a few minutes to gently hold each chick. And we even filmed a time lapse of this process so you can see how fast they grow and change. Daily handling helps them trust you, which makes things easier later on. Friendly chickens are easier to catch, easier to check for issues, and honestly just more enjoyable to have around. Additionally, my daughter enjoys taking the chickens out from time to time and letting the neighborhood kids play with them. It's just a good experience for the chicks and the kids. It also teaches kids responsibility, how to care for animals, and connection to their food source. And it only takes a few minutes per day. Number 7, cleaning routine, once a week. I clean the bedding and the brooder once a week. That's it. I just scoop out the old pine shavings, I add a fresh 2-inch layer, and you're good to go. With just a few minutes of weekly cleaning and daily water checks, raising chicks really becomes simple. It's more check-in than cleanup. Most of the time, I just peek in to make sure everyone's happy and healthy. Number 8, when to move them outside. At around 6 to 8 weeks, chickens are fully feathered. That's when they can regulate their own body temperature and safely move outdoors. Now, if it's still cold at night in your area, you may want to wait a bit longer or provide extra bedding or a safe heat source in the coop. My chicks are 8 weeks old at the time of recording this video, and it's still cold outside at night, so we might have to wait a few more weeks. And once we move them, which we will soon, I'll film that for an upcoming video. Number 9, chicken coops. What you need. Let's talk coops. I'm showing my setup in this video from 7 years ago on my YouTube channel. And in that video, I used a simple chicken coop from Tractor Supply, or you can use your local feed store. But this time around, we built a nice big coop. But don't let that intimidate you. You don't need something huge or expensive. You can absolutely start small. And there are plenty of prefab coops available online that are budget friendly. You can also build your own from scrap materials or modify an old shed. There are a lot of DIY plans on YouTube or websites like Etsy. Just remember the basics. 3 square feet per chicken inside the coop, 8 to 10 square feet per chicken in the run, a place for them to roost at night like a wooden bar, nesting boxes for eggs, 1 box for every 3 to 4 hens, ventilation to prevent moisture buildup, and protection from predators. To protect against predators, we're going to add rocks and bury galvanized hardware cloth around the perimeter before we add our chickens. The coop we build is solid and roomy, but that's because we wanted to go big from the start. Don't feel like you have to. There are countless ways to make this work on a budget. By the way, I got the plan for this video from another YouTube channel, Rogue Engineer. I'm going to post a link to his video below that has a detailed breakdown of his plans. Number 10, go for it. So here's the truth. Raising baby chicks is not hard. It doesn't take hours of work, so you don't need a farm, you don't need a huge budget. All you need is a simple setup, some basic supplies, and a few minutes each day to check in and make sure that they're doing okay. It's not a big financial or time commitment, but they're a lot of fun. If you're on the fence about doing it, here's my advice. Go for it. I've never regretted having chickens, and my kids enjoy having them around. All right, I'm going to post a link to a video I did a few years ago detailing how to raise chickens after you move them into your backyard. Also, grab the free survival download guide below, which will let you know when we release our new upcoming suburban self-sufficient backyard course. I'd love to help you build your own setup from scratch. As always, stay safe out there.